Hello, welcome to my guide of tech tips for using a MacBook. There's going to be 3 videos. This is part 1. This first video is going to be about trackpad functions and gestures, and we're going to go over some shortcuts and things that I use every day that just make it a better experience and are useful and things that everybody should know. So first, let's go to the computer and let's check out some scenarios. Okay, so we're using our computer and we've run out of room on our screen. What can we do to A, get more screen space, and B, not have to make everything, super small like this. Now this thing's tiny, or make this really tiny. Like, that's just kind of annoying. So what can we do where we don't have to do all that, but we can still have these things open and make room for all of them? So I could close these windows out like this. Now I have a bunch of room, but now they're gone and I can't use them. What if I could just quickly move to a whole other desktop? That would be really useful, and I can actually do that with some really simple gestures. But first, let's focus on some of the key terms that we're going to go over in this video. The first one is a window. A window is anything like what we just had opened. So right here I've got my Spotify window open. So that's what a window is. The next thing is a desktop. And a desktop, here we have our Microsoft Excel window. But the desktop is this right here. This is like the main hub, the main screen. And then a trackpad. The trackpad is this rectangular thing. If you're using a MacBook already, you have already used the trackpad. It's basically the same thing as a mouse, but it's just built into the computer so that you don't have to carry a mouse around with you everywhere you go. And then the last one is gesture. We all know what gesture is, but in this video I'm going to show you some specific ones that you can do on your trackpad to get some more functionality and practicality out of your MacBook. So let's dive into that. With that first gesture that we're going to be talking about is making a new window or a new desktop window. So the way that we're going to do that is we swipe up with 3 fingers and then we can create a new desktop, and I'll show you how to switch between them in a second. So this is really nice for just switching between different things and having full windows open and on multiple desktops. And it's basically like having 3 different, actually more than 3, multiple, however many you want screens to work on. So the way that we do that is we swipe up with 3 fingers, just like this. And then what we're gonna do is up here where it says desktop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have multiple open right now. If we bring that mouse up to the top like that, it expands this. And then if we go over to here where it has this plus button, if we press that, we can create a new desktop, just like that. And now we're on that 6th one that we just created. And if we swipe over to the left, we can swipe between our desktops. And this is super nice because I could open something like Spotify and have my music window open on here, but then I could swipe over to this one and I could open Microsoft Excel, and I could open that, see, and I can just have this open and work on here and then swipe over to Spotify, and it's just super useful. This next feature is something that's really great that I use a lot. So down here in my dock, right, you can see all these applications that I have. I have Finder, Safari, Microsoft Outlook, blah, 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 all these other ones, Trash Can. But I don't have all of my applications down here. These ones down here are actually just apps that I use regularly. And I don't want to have all of my applications down here because then it just gets very cluttered and disorganized. So the way that we can quickly pull up our multiple apps or all the other apps if we need one is with another trackpad gesture. So if we just kind of zoom out with 4 fingers, I'll throw up a clip of that here in a second to show you. If we zoom out with 4 fingers, it just brings up all of our applications. And there's 2 pages here, so if you just swipe over with 2 fingers, you can swipe between the multiple pages. And this is really great because I have this Safari browser down here in my dock, right here. But if I wanted to use Google Chrome, I could zoom out like this, swipe over, here's Chrome, and now I could open Chrome like this. If I wanted to use Google Chrome for something, I could do that nice and quickly and easily. So this third and final trackpad gesture is by far the most important one and the most useful one, and one that is just second nature to me now. This is going to really open up the doors for what you can do in terms of just clicking on things, which is like one of the main things we do on computers. And that would be right clicking. You probably might already know what right clicking is, but we need to go over this because it's one of the most important things. So what right clicking is normally, we can click on things with 1 finger. But if we just use 2 fingers to click on something, now it pulls up this arrangement of different options that we can do. And whatever we click on, those options are going to be different. So if I click on whatever this screenshot is, if I right click on it, it's going to bring up all these things that I can do with it. So I can open it, and that's just going to, pull up a picture. If I right click on it, I could move it to trash, so I could just delete it. And actually I want to do that because I don't know what that picture is. It's kind of dumb and I don't need it anymore, so I'm actually going to move that to the trash. Another great thing that you can do is, since I opened that picture, it opened preview. I don't really want this preview thing down in my dock anymore, so what I can do is I can right click on it and hit quit, and now it goes away. But some things can actually stay in your dock even if they're quit and not running. I have this QuickTime Player app in my dock, and that's not running, but it's stuck there. But if I want to get rid of it, I can right click on it, go to options, and right here it says keep in dock, and I can actually deselect that. Yeah, there we go. So that's my third and final tip for you. What we're going to do next is we're actually going to go into a little quiz where I'm going to ask you to do something, and we're going to have some practice with using the functions that we just learned. So let's head on over to that. Okay, so the first quiz question we're going to have here is, what gesture can I use to create a new desktop? And your hint was that we use 3 fingers for this. So I will give you about 10 seconds to try and figure this one out, and then we will show you. Okay, so the way that we create a new desktop again is 3 fingers, and we swipe up. And then we bring our mouse up to the top here to expand this. We press that plus button, and now we have an additional desktop. Our next gesture quiz question is, what do I do if I need to open an app that's not in my dock? So I'll give you 10 seconds to think about that one, and our hint is that we use 4 fingers. Alright, so for this one we're going to be using 4 fingers, and we're going to be zooming out. And now I can open Chrome, and now we have Chrome open, so that will be really nice. Alright, our third and final quiz question is, what gestures can I use to expand the things I can do when I click on things on my MacBook? So let's look at this. Your hint here is that we use 2 fingers for this. So again, I'll give you 10 seconds to try and figure that out, and then we'll review. Alright, so the way that we do this, again, is right clicking, which we do with 2 fingers. So we just click with 2 fingers instead of 1, and we can pull up all of these different options. So if I have, let's see, if I have this and I want to quit the app, I can quit the app. I could also right click on it and remove it from the dock, just like that. If I wanted to take this picture from my desktop and I wanted to delete it, I could move it to trash. Another thing you can do is set your desktop picture so you can make it this background picture. I'm not going to do that because it's a picture that I'm actually using for this video, but if I wanted to and it was a cool picture that I wanted as my background, I could do that. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips helped you. My advice and the best way for learning these things and really getting them down is just to keep using them and keep practicing them. The more you use them, the more fluid they're going to become, and the more you are going to enjoy using your MacBook. So have fun, and thank you for watching.